terms of preparation of this driveway for the next phase that you're looking for us to act on?
Well, we put it down several times, but we put down just grindings. That's all it's there. It's just like it's like gravel that was put down, and that's the base of the driveway. But that's always been the base of the driveway. There is, you're correct. There is, we did put new stuff down recently, well, a few months ago, but yeah. And
And just to be clear, and because you keep saying that you're saying that you put down grindings or you put down this gravel, but then you said we put down new stuff. Is that the same thing? Like, what are we looking at? What
yeah,
is this?
it's the same stuff. That's same stuff that's been there before that we put down new. Just making it level so that all the pits in the when you're driving over it, it's not pavement. It gets ruts in it. So we just put stuff down and pack it down so it doesn't get the ruts in there, so you can drive a car over it
But
without.
what is this stuff? Because it doesn't look like gravel to me. I mean, maybe
It's
I'm not there.
reprocessed gravel, so it's like
Is that like a
grindings.
hard pack? Like a hard pack or
Yeah, it's like when they grind up the roads, like it's like old paving, old stone, and all
yeah.
that. It's all ground together.
And is this the same material that was down before?
Yes.
Exactly the same. Do
Same.
you recall that, Jackie? Were you over there before?
Um,
It
I
doesn't
mean,
look the same.
so right now you can see it kind of looks like it's paved, but I wouldn't say this is paved. It looks like it's the same color. It's like black. It looks kind of like crushed asphalt, but I don't know what it's made of. But then if you look at like an older photo of it, um like before it looked more like that. So I don't know how I don't know what's really um like the difference in the material, but it does look like it was um
It's just new.
recently
Yeah,
added with the new
if it was down there for longer, it would just lighten up. But that's the same stuff. As you drive over it, it would just get lighter.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean, I understand, that I'm assuming removed the old stuff and then put down a new layer of it, or just packed it right on top.
I just filled in the gaps. I didn't take the other stuff up.
Oh, okay.
So
So basically like a new coating was put down of this repurposed asphalt.
yeah, it's just grindings. Yeah, but that's
Yep. Okay.
basically yes.
Yep. So I think what we're trying to get at here is that my understanding is that work potentially should have come before us, even just that putting that new layer down. And I think that's what Jen is trying to ask questions in relation to.
I didn't know that. I thought I could maintain the roads there because they were there. I wasn't aware of that. I would have. I mean, I would have called you guys. Jackie's been there several times while I've been working there. So, but I apologize if I didn't do something that you guys wanted. That was not my intention.
Yep.
So, Jackie, understanding that this was packing on new grindings, is this considered maintenance then of the road, or is this something different? I mean, and maybe the next level is something different from that. I mean, it's changing the surface completely.
I mean, I think it's debatable. I mean, I don't know what exactly this new material was versus the old. I mean, it looks different to me, but I don't know exactly what it's made of. I mean, this one looks like it's made of like potentially like asphalt, which I think the old gravel was not, but I feel like it's up to the commission of how we want to consider it.
Yeah, I mean, my knowledge on that is that over time, this will kind of further degrade into something that looks a little bit more like gravel. Um, it starts out looking kind of like more asphalt, but then just over time, it continues to degrade. Um, I think that this, I think we've had for driveways in previous meetings a discussion of, does this already constitute impervious surface? And I think we considered even like P-stone driveways to be basically impervious surface. Am I remembering that correctly?
If they're packed really tight, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, if it's really packed, it's been like that.
So, I mean, assuming that the dimensions of the road didn't change, there was no change to impervious surface. And then theoretically, when they pave it, there'll be no, even further, no change to the amount of impervious surface. Um, so, I mean, for the sake of simplicity, it doesn't necessarily bother me. I think we could consider this maintenance, and then just kind of look at the permanent repaving as the item in front of us. But obviously happy to hear.
Yeah, so you're making a distinction between this sort of intermediary step that occurred and then what's being proposed. And I agree with that. I just wanted to be clear on
Yep.
what was, and other folks maybe can weigh in, but I think, it's a question of whether or not this needed to be addressed because it happened in between and it didn't come before us, and trying to reconcile what it is, versus now the next step is going to be seeking this RDA in terms of paving it, permanent paving of the area. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with seeing this as maintenance. I think the only other thing I would point out is that it was raining pretty heavily, so it might have also looked a little darker than it normally would, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good observation.
Yeah, and I would just say, I think for the sake of, potentially avoiding these types of things in the future, just like anything that's happening in a buffer zone, it's worth just giving a quick call to Jackie, who might tell you, yep, I think we would consider that maintenance, go forward with it.
I will do that in the future. Yeah, I apologize.
No,
I should have probably done it, but I will do that in the future.
yep, it's all good. I think that this is maintenance, and I'm not too worried about it. And in terms of paving, at least this section, I think we need to talk about the area around the bridge a little bit more. But this section, assuming that the dimensions aren't changing, there's no change to impervious surface. I don't know, on the edge of where it goes, is there any sort of dip around it? I think in an ideal world, I'd like to see something kind of like a drainage swale to help, the water that's sitting on top get infiltrated instead of potentially like sheeting off. I haven't been to the site, so I don't know exactly the grading around it. And I mean, I can look at this picture a little bit more, and it does look like there's some dips around it. So I guess, just kind of maintaining those, drainage swales that I might describe them as, I think would be my only other comment here. But again, happy to hear the rest of the commissioners' opinions.
In that section when we were on the walk, there was some talk about the bank to the left. That was the only thing that I remember talking about. That looked like it had been a little side cut, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's the one. There's a thing with you guys that's where the plantings are gonna be done and all that.
okay.
That's all part of this. Um,
Yeah, we'll cover that later on the agenda, but that was part of one of our enforcement orders that was for grading that was done in the driveway area, in the entrance driveway area.
that's one of the things I inherited.
Isn't that this area we're talking about though, that's in the buffer zone as well, Jackie? Or am I misunderstanding that?
Yes, so my understanding is that this RDA is not planning to touch the like anything outside of the driveway. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes. We're just staying, it's 12 feet wide, just staying on the driveway itself.
Perfect.
So the plan from the RDA, it did show grading in that area, but I think we should be clear that that part should stay under the enforcement order rather than under the RDA.
Yes, 100%. Yep.
So then the question really becomes, because there's this projected or planned paving now of this sections of the driveway which come into our jurisdiction, whether or not those should be subject to permitting, whether or not the bylaw and the regulations is applicable. And this is kind of a change. I mean, yes, there was some packed gravel there, but now we're talking about permanent paving. And so it seems to me that, and it's happening within our jurisdictional area. So it seems to me that this is, within our jurisdiction and that it should be pursuant to a permit.
Right, this is a determination of. I think, so we're determining whether or not this is basically negligible impact, correct?
We need to make a determination under the bylaw and under the Wetlands Protection Act. So under the Wetlands Protection Act, you can issue a negative determination, a -3, if the commission believes that the activity is within the buffer zone but would not alter a resource area under the Wetlands Protection Act. Under the Wetlands Protection Act, the buffer zone is not a resource area, but under our bylaw it is.
Yep.
Or whether it can be conditioned to such that it would not alter the resource area. So under the state law, we need to decide whether this work in the buffer zone can be done without altering the bordering vegetated wetland that is off to the side from the driveway, but within 100 feet of it. And
Right.
then the other determination would be under the bylaw, which would be determining whether or not additional review is required under the bylaw. And then our bylaw states that RDAs are appropriate for minor activities. But I don't think it defines what minor is, so that's sort of at the commission's discretion to determine.
Yeah. So I guess my opinion right now is that my understanding is that what's there right now for a driveway is already impervious. And so putting another layer on top of that, which is going to be just as impervious, is of negligible impact to what's already there. I guess my concerns are, in terms of generally speaking, the drainage around this area, that needs to be maintained. And then while the work is occurring, this is basically your only way onto the property, this road right now. So as it's getting paved, essentially you'll have no way to access the property without going through around.
But you broke up a little bit there.
Incorrect right now? Or did I cut out?
You
Oh,
cut
I'm sorry.
But accessing the property, so we would, we would pave it. So it goes to my son's house, my daughter-in-law's house, my grandkids. So
Yep.
we would pave around the bridge area, if you will, and would keep the access road behind my house. And then once that's all paved, we would switch and then rip out the rest of that, and they could just drive on that outside. So
Yep.
they could access that. That's why Jackie's been very patient. You guys have all been very patient. Thank you. But I am going to rip that out once this is paved.
Yeah, so for that section that's over by the bridge, I understand that. If we have any photos of that area, I would like to see them. But for this section that's on the part of the driveway that connects to the road,
Yes.
that's the only way to get from the road out to the house and to the driveway.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So in the process of paving this for however many hours this section is going to take, you basically wouldn't be able to access the rest of the property.
Right, exactly. So
Okay.
my daughter and son can't access it. They have to stay out for the few hours that we pave that area. Yes, correct.
Okay. So assuming that none of the machines are going to need to kind of go onto the sides to do anything,
Nope.
and you're staying within the existing footprint, which I think probably varies a little bit right now. I'm okay considering it, at least in this section. I would like, if we have any photos of the bridge area, I'd like to see them. But this section that's near the part that connects to the driveway, I would consider negligible impact.
Okay.
I'd agree.
I guess the only concern I have, just given the history here, is the fact that we don't have dimensions, right? And so there's, I don't think there's dimensions on that plan of this driveway, and now suddenly it expands. How do we get control over that? I mean,
It does say on the plan. I'm sorry, but it does
it
say.
does. Okay, sorry, it's not in front of me.
Yeah,
So
It says it's listed as 12 feet
12
throughout.
feet.
The plan
Yeah.
says 12 feet throughout, although
Yes.
I feel like it didn't look like it was 12 feet based on the way the plan was drawn.
Yeah.
But let's see.
I did see what you think would be a wider section, but it looked like it was outside of an area of interest to us, if I understand the drawing correctly.
Yeah,
should-
so over here
yeah.
here by the bridge, it looks like it's wider up
Oh, yeah.
here.
Yeah, but
And
it'll all be 12 feet, and then we'll have grass on both sides of it.
But
But any,
Wait, I'm sorry. Can we, I just, for my own, just maybe this is just for me, but can we kind of just for a second treat these areas separately and just kind of, the section nearest to the street, let's kind of quote unquote close that one out for temporarily and then focus on the bridge? Because I'm just having trouble knowing which section we're kind of talking about. So for the section nearest to the street, are we comfortable with the 12-foot dimension across?
yeah.
Okay, great.
As long as it's adhered to. The problem is that if it's not adhered to, then we have an issue where, I mean, I would have no issue going in with an enforcement order and saying rip up the pavement if it extends beyond 12 feet on this site. And so for the record, if this is goes beyond 12 feet, given the history on the site and your representations tonight that this is only going to be 12 feet in our jurisdictional areas, then okay, fine. And also based on your representations that you're not going to take heavy equipment into the resource areas. But if that changes, then there's going to be an enforcement order and there's going to be restoration. And that will include, I'm thinking, and of course I can't speak for the Conservation Commission, but I would certainly encourage the rest of the members to require any pavement that extends beyond 12 feet to be ripped out and to be restored.
Yep.
Because we are taking you at your word, and this has been a very lengthy process for this commission. And I think, I have to say for the record, and Mike DeRosa has done a great job of trying to reel this in. I really have appreciated his input in trying to get this on track. But here we are, we're still here, and there's still stuff that needs to be addressed. So just for the record, it's got to be 12 feet. You're representing it's 12 feet. And I think we're really going to need to get back on site to verify that.
yes, that's fine.
So, okay, for this section, assuming that we're sticking to 12 feet, assuming that no heavy machinery will go off, that 12-foot dimension to do the work, I'm personally comfortable with this section as it's been described.
I'd agree.
Yeah, and I think in terms of like conditions on this, if it gets approved, I think one of the conditions is that, Jackie needs to be notified at the start of work so that she can verify personally that the equipment's not going off of the path and, the things are in order.
Yeah.
And she should be permitted, it should be conditioned on not only her being there at the start of work, but her being able to be there throughout the work, throughout this paving process.
That's fine.
Okay.
No problem with that at all.
Okay.
I think 12 feet sharp, not 12.2, not 3, not 6, 12.
So I'll do my best.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's always some realism there, but I think, 12 feet. Okay, so I'm comfortable with this section. Now we'll switch gears and talk about the. And sorry for making us back up there. I just, for my own brain space, talking about these two sections slightly separately, I think is a little bit prudent. Okay, here I do see the way that it's drawn right now. It does seem to expand as it goes away from the bridge.
Yeah,
Is the intention that it is 12 feet the whole time?
yeah, we have a paver, so it's 12. The paver will be set at 12 feet, and it's 12 feet everywhere.
Okay.
Yes.
But right now, what is the surface in this vicinity? Is there any surface? Is it dirt? What is
It's
it
the
the
same-
same thing we
It's the
saw?
same stuff. It's been the same stuff the whole time. That's been the excess road, so it's that ground up process material.
So, I mean, I just think it begs a question if right now, if what's on the ground looks like anything like this, how is your paver? There needs to be explicit, clear communication with the paver.
Yeah,
It can't be, coming
the-
back to us.
Yeah, the
I know you
pa-
understand, but for the record,
I understand, but the pavers, so you set the paver dimension at 12 feet, so it's a spreader. So that you can't pave wider than that because the machine is set at, the street is set at 12 feet. So
okay.
that's what you're paving, and then everything beyond that will just be dirt. And grass, we'll put grass, so forth. But the paving itself will be set with the street at 12 feet. So the paver will be set there. So it won't be wider anywhere than.
You do 12 feet, one pass?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Let me pull up the bridge photo so we can see that again.
So my
Um,
current understanding of this section is we again have existing impervious surface. And therefore, my opinion would be that adding another layer of impervious surface would not affect the buffer zone. Assuming that again, we keep to 12 feet, that this would be of negligible impact to this section of buffer zone.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. But yeah, Jackie, if you have any photos, I know you had it up for a second, but I wasn't able to look at it.
Yeah, so I guess considering the 12 feet, I'm a little concerned that here it said the bridge width, the plan showed the bridge width as 14 feet. And you
Okay.
can kind of see this material seems to go to the width of the bridge. So that part alone is probably already at 14 feet.
Well, not, yeah, the paving will be 12 feet because you gotta remember, there's no barriers on the bridge yet. Remember we talked about that? So there's stone barriers on both sides, which cut the bridge down to 12 feet.
So the paving is not going to go all the way to the edge of where this
No, it'll be 12,
material is.
no, it'll be 12 feet on both sides. And then there'll be landscaping. Those are all like bushes and stuff they put on the sides of it. But the paver will be at 12 feet and it'll come off that bridge at 12 feet.
How wide can you go with one pass?
I don't know, 12, I think 12 feet's the widest you can make the paver we have. There's ones that I think are wide, like highway ones go wider.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you were also limited by equipment to 12 feet, which
Yeah.
might
Our
make me a little
paver
bit more
goes,
comfortable. You can't go wider. You can't set it wider than 12 feet.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
our paver is a 12-foot paver, but they do make bigger ones out there, but that's not, but yeah, 12 feet is what our paver, our slides are.
So Jackie, that's the extent of the RDA, is just the paving of those sections,
Yes, it
not
was
getting into anything else.
right. So it's the paving of the driveway, and our jurisdiction is limited to those two areas, even if the driveway is being paved throughout.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, so that's the
So I'm personally comfortable considering this of negligible impact to the wetlands. Again, because it's existing impervious surface and adding more impervious is not going to make it any more impervious. I just would want to reiterate that the existing edges, whatever the grading is, needs to be maintained. And so that such that drainage and infiltration of the whatever water comes from the driveway can infiltrate and not sheet off. And I just one more time from me, just that, a 12-foot, it sounds like it's not even going to be physically possible to go more than 12 feet with the paver, so I'm not that worried about it, honestly. But that's my opinion right now.
Okay, anyone else from our committee have anything to add to it?
So the drawings and the request show 12 feet, but it seems like we're talking about 12 feet plus gravel shoulder. Is that laid out clearly in the request? Kind of the parameters of the gravel shoulder and the types of material?
Well, there was no gravel shoulder, it was just the 12-foot and then the grass.
Okay.
But
I
but
was
in
just in the
the,
request for determination and it references a gravel shoulder.
yeah, I did notice it references the gravel shoulder, but then it wasn't shown on the plan.
I think that
Right.
may have been,
My question.
that may have been underneath the road, but that's not, there was none. I can put a gravel shoulder in the wetland area, where where the buffer is there, area there, if you want me to. In those areas, but
I'm just looking for clarification what your intention is.
yeah, my
Is
intention is
is
just
there
to,
going to be a gravel shoulder added or is there
No.
not? And if so, maybe we need to note that in any
yeah.
decision we make or
I
modify the
Yeah, it wasn't,
filing.
I wasn't going to. I like I said, I can make a swale in that area where the buffer zone is there, if you want to, on the outside there. in the inside. But I wasn't gonna do there was no need for it to do any gravel.
Seems to me something's gotta be put down, because if you put the driveway down and we get the bad weather we always get this time of year, it's gonna eat away at what's underneath it.
Not really. I mean, it just will leach into the ground. That's what's been doing. That's because it's not permeable now. It's just, but I can put a swale there and I can put stone there if you want me to. I mean,
Just thinking the runoff would just eat away at the earth.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Dodds. I mean, I'd love to see a swale, especially on the area that connects to the road. I think my understanding is that looking at the bridge area, the stone that it kind of already exists there is kind of gonna do what we're looking for and assist with drainage there. Jackie, please correct me if I'm wrong. So, I mean, I'd love to see a more defined swale on the area near the road.
I can put one in there if you want me to. That's not a problem. I can talk to Jackie about it and we can lay it out before I do anything and put one in. I could put like a small swale with some stone in it. The bridge has a lot of stone around it.
Yeah.
You can see in the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the text in the letter accompanying the request. And it says, the existing 12-foot wide gravel driveway is proposed to be paved in place. So if you're gonna have a machine that puts down 12 feet of asphalt, that's 12 feet. And then it reads, outside the wetland area, 2 portions within the buffer zones. All paving will exist within the existing gravel footprint, and the project will not result in any increase in impervious area. A gravel shoulder is proposed along both sides of the paved driveway. So this is a change in the dimensions. The project summary says that there'll be a gravel shoulder. So is that
shouldn't be on there.
Okay.
No, I don't know why it's there.
okay?
Yep.
Could that simply be that your base has to be wider than the driveway you lay down?
No, our intention is to keep it 12 feet, the paving on what's there right now, not go wider.
But is it exactly 12 feet wide right now? I mean, I didn't measure it, but I think it has to vary in spots.
It
And
might,
you
right,
can't
yeah.
put a driveway down on a base that's exactly 12 feet wide, right? Like, so you might have I'm trying to just
Yeah.
understand it. You're gonna have to have a couple inches of gravel on each side, no?
You might be, but usually you would just pack that with dirt, so
Yeah.
once your grade comes up to the paving height, then you put grass there,
And the
whatever.
intent is to just let the lawn and whatever the surroundings are grow right up to the edge of the paved driveway.
Yes, yep.
So probably it's fair enough to say that to the extent the existing gravel base extends beyond 12 feet, it will be permitted to remain but not be extended. And the new pavement will be limited to 12 feet.
12 feet. Okay, that's fine.
Are you gonna fill that to grade though when you put the driveway down?
I can leave it gravel on the outside if you guys want.
If
It
he's
doesn't,
installing swales, then it shouldn't even be a problem, right?
right.
Cool.
And I won't do anything in the 100-foot buffer zone unless I have Jackie. I'll talk to her about it and make sure before I do it, it's so everyone's happy. But I'm living there, so I want it nice.
Mhm.
And I want it safe for my kids and my grandkids.
Yep.
And thank you very much for letting me put the bridge in. That made it 1,000 times more safe for them.
Yeah, I think for the swale, I know we've required that for other gravel driveway project that was paved. So I think we can put in a similar swale, if that's what makes sense. I think I agree on the area that's on the way in makes more sense. I feel like the bridge, I mean, I don't know if those rocks are really functioning as a swale with how kind of sloped they are, but I don't think it's really feasible to put in a swale
Yep.
in that area anyways.
Okay.
If we're done discussing, I need to open this to the public. Does anyone from the public have any comment on this whole situation? Okay. Well, if anyone has nothing further to say, we need to close the hearing.
Okay, I can make a motion that we close the hearing with respect to RDA 2025 for 20R, 21 and 25 Johns Lane, map 68, lot 41.
I could second that motion.
And how do we vote? Dodge Shamrock, aye.
Jen DeCarlo, aye.
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Maureen Bresnahan, aye.
Ben Kayla, aye.
Next, we need a motion to issue a -3 and a -6 determination. Under the Wetlands Protection Act and the Topsfield General Wetlands Bylaw for RDA 2025-09 at 20 rear, 21 and 25 Johns Lane, map 68, lot 41, and map 76, lots 3 and 4 with standard conditions.
Do you want me to make that motion, or can you
Sure.
just make a motion?
No, I
Oh.
can't make a motion, so you
Okay.
can say, you'll take over the motion or whatever.
Okay, so we have, just so that I am not making a motion, I'm just clarifying. This is
Mhm.
I'm gonna put -3 and -6 with standard conditions, with the condition that before any work starts, Jackie be allowed to come see the site conditions, and that during work and after work she can come see it. That a drainage swale will be installed on the section closest to the road, in consultation with the conservation administrator. And I think that's all the stuff that we had, right?
That the paving be limited to 12
And-
feet in width. And that's to the extent that the existing gravel base extends beyond 12 feet, it be permitted to remain but not be extended.
You want to add about it being ripped out if it's wider?
I
Well,
don't think so.
yeah, I don't think we have to, but be warned.
Extended. Okay, so that again, that the paving be limited to 12 feet wide, and that any existing gravel may not be is allowed to exist but not be extended.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, now beginning my motion, I'll make a motion to issue a -3 and -6 determination under the Wetlands Protection Act and Topsfield General Wetlands Bylaw for RDA 2025-09 at 20R, 21 and 25 Johns Lane, map 68, lot 41, and map 76, lots 3 and 4, with the standard conditions, with the condition that the conservation administrator be notified before work starts, such that they can see the site and then be able to access the site during and after the work is happening or completed. That a drainage swale will be installed at the section closest to the road in consultation with the conservation administrator. That the paving be limited to 12 feet. And that the existing gravel is allowed to exist as it is, but may not be extended. And that's my motion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, and how do we vote? Dodge Shamrock, aye.
Jen DeCarlo, aye.
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Maureen Bresnahan, aye.
Ben Kayla, aye.
Well, we hope you end up with a very nice driveway
Thank
at
you
12 feet.
12 feet, no wider.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
All right.
good
thank-
night.
Now,
Sounds
do I-
like he has to hang on for the other
Oh.
matters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
you
have
got-
later on the agenda, we have the enforcement section of the agenda.
Okay.
But you can
Do I
take a
stay up?
break while we go through our other items.
What time do you think you'll be on for that? I'll come back on it. That's just for an extension, right? Because I just filed an extension for that.
I'd say maybe 20 or 30 minutes at least.
Okay,
I think we have about 5 items in between.
okay,
So
all right. I'll pop in like 25 minutes.
that's reasonable.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. All right, next we have a request for an RDNI for 2025-21 for 64 South Main Street, map 49, lot 23, Evans. A request to replace an existing shed. Is anyone around who can tell us about this?
I am.
Oh, good, hi.
Hi. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't like public speaking, and even though
That's
you
all right.
can't see me, this is
Just say your
considered public
name, that
speaking.
makes,
Alex Evans,
okay,
64 South Main Street. Yes, I'm just looking to replace an existing shed with a bigger shed. There's my pictures.
oh, good.
Yes. There's my old shed,
Mhm.
and I'm looking to replace it to save my relationship with a larger shed.
So my understanding is that the resource area is on the other side of your house, and so this is an outer buffer zone.
Yes, it's on the other side of South Main Street.
Okay.
It's across the street. I just
Oh.
found out from Jackie that it is called Cleveland Brook.
Yeah, so if you look at this image here, you can
Um,
kind of see below South Main Street in the image is wetlands. Cleveland Brook is also there, and there is a shed proposed here. This is the existing shed. And then the proposed shed, I understand, is larger than the existing shed.
Yes, that shed is my current shed is 8 by 12. The new shed is 10 by 18.
Okay, so it
And
would be
it will be on a bed of 57 stone or does that sound familiar to anybody?
yeah, it said cement blocks on a bed of crushed stone.
Yes.
So will there be any earth moving or digging like to replace the cement blocks and crushed stone, or is this just on top of
There
the
will
ground?
be if you no, because I've already removed my current shed and I realized that I thought that my old shed was just on grass, but it wasn't. It was dug up. There was no stone underneath it, but it was, it was excavated underneath it and then it was on blocks. So I'm just going to skim the grass. I think it needs to be on 4 inches of crushed stone. So I'm just going to excavate 4 inches to level the stone.
Okay.
I've already called DigSafe to make sure that there were no utilities there,
um,
and there
Okay.
are not.
So it seems like this project, we would need to put in some sort of erosion control, like a silt sock or wattles, straw wattles, something like that, just to make sure that during the digging that there's no sediment runoff.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, and that would basically be, around the perimeter of what you're intending to build. And, should be fairly minor. I think a silt sock would be sufficient for,
yeah, I think just on the downhill side.
yeah.
Yeah. So just one of those big orange snake things.
Yeah, and Jackie, will be able to guide you on the type of material to use and everything.
Okay.
But I would consider this of negligible impact. It's on the outer buffer zone on the other side of the street. So I think that this is all set with me.
I
Okay.
would agree.
I'm fine with this.
I do
Okay.
too.
And Jackie, you'll be able to tell now, is that something that I purchase or rent? The silk sock?
Yeah, you can purchase it. I can't recommend you a specific brand to buy it from, because like we're not allowed to do that as government employees, but I can send you like what it's called if that's helpful.
Okay. All right,
Um,
perfect.
And it will say
All
in the document that I issue you the determination. So within a week, I should have that determination out to you, and it'll have all of the standard conditions, including that I follow up after you're done with the project.
Okay.
Okay, we
So
need,
how soon will I be able to get my landscaper going to dig that? Within the next week?
I should be able to give you the permit within the next week.
Okay. All right, perfect.
I'll
Thank
get
you
to it
very
as
much.
soon as I can.
we're not quite finished yet. We need to have a vote on this, folks.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. We're just continuing
Yeah.
to discuss.
Of course.
I can make a motion if everyone is on the commission is comfortable. I'll put forward a motion that we issue a determination of negligible impact for RDNI 2025-21 at 64 South Main Street, map 49, lot 23, with the standard conditions, and that the condition of erosion control be installed with the conservation administrator's approval. That's my motion.
I'll second
Hello.
that motion.
Okay, how do we vote? Dodge Shamrock, aye.
Jen DeCarlo, I.
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Maureen Bresnahan, aye.
Ben Kayla, aye.
All right.
Okay, we look forward to seeing that pretty shed when we drive by.
Thank you very much. So do I.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right,
Thank you.
bye.
Okay, next we have an RDNI for 2025-22, 78 South Main Street, map 40, lot 25, Bloxham, removing an existing shed, a new shed replacement. Is anyone here from there?
I can present on behalf of the
Okay.
applicant, since I don't believe they're here. So I visited the site and I'll show you what it looks like. Let's see. So here we have the proposed location of the shed. It's up on this sort of above this retaining wall. They're proposing to put it right near the house. And the new shed is going to be smaller than the old shed, which I'll show you in a second. Oh, this is just another view of that area. And then you can see the old shed in the background is much closer to the wetland compared to this one. The wetland is off to the left, a little bit down a slope here.
Mhm.
And then close up of the old shed, it's like really in there, like right next to the wetland. It kind of looks like the wetland goes around the shed in here. So I think it would be a great improvement to remove the shed from right next to the wetland. The applicant said nothing else will be going back in that area. But that the wet area here has kind of grown over time.
Mhm.
So it didn't used to be like this, but yeah, it seems like it'll overall be an improvement. I think we should require that if there's any digging, that erosion controls would be used, especially because it's so close to the wetland. But other than that, I think it's an obvious improvement to the site.
I would agree.
Nice.
Really?
Okay. I make a motion to issue a determination at 78 South Main Street, map 49, lot 25, with the standard conditions and the condition that any earth moving either at the old location of the shed or the new location of the shed would require erosion control with approval of the conservation administrator.
I'll second that
second.
motion.
Perfect.
Okay, how do we vote? Dodge Shamrock, aye.
Jen DeCarlo, aye.
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Maureen Bresnahan, aye.
Ben Calla, aye.
Terrific. Well, we're looking forward to seeing the new shed. Good luck with it. Okay, next we have an RDNI 2025-23 at 37 River Road, map 48, lot 13. Ziz, remove dead trees and prune limbs. Is there anyone representing them?
Yes, this is Mark Mrs. I'm involved with the meeting here. So
Okay.
I think Jackie and I had walked and taken pictures of all the trees that were involved with this application. So I don't know if she has any of the pictures up that she could show you.
Jackie?
Yep, so here's the overall plan. Oh, am I muted? Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. The overall plan showing River Road. Here is one tree that's being proposed to be removed, and then here's another tree that's in between two other trees that's proposed to be removed. I let Mark know that pruning dead limbs is okay without a permit as long as it's less than 10% of the tree canopy on these other trees. So that's not necessarily requiring a permit, but here's the overall landscape of what it looks like there. Here is that one of the trees?
That was the largest one that was in the
Yeah.
picture, correct? Yeah, you can see the dead limbs that are hanging up inside the tree.
Hmm.
Yep.
And then that's the same one. Here's the other one.
Yeah, it looks pretty gnarly.
Such a-
They're all in similar condition, but the goal is to actually save, not to actually wipe out everything that's there, since they've been there for probably 75 to 100 years.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Uh, well, they're dead.
I know, but they're still,
I agree. They're just like dead soldiers. But the goal is to take the ones that are dangerous because there's limbs hanging up in them, take them out, prune up the other ones, and at least try to salvage them for a while, and then replant with significant trees in the springtime so that we maintain the nature and the character of what's there right now.
Jackie, the property's on River Road, but what part of the property's in the resource area?
Oh, let me pull up the map.
Yeah, and while she does that, I'll just for in terms of replanting, I mean, two trees coming out. One of them, neither of them are fully dead, or they are fully dead.
One is completely dead. The other one is it's completely hollow and broken, so it's not going to grow anymore.
Right. So in terms of our replanting policy, and I'll look to Jen and Dodds on this, dead trees do not require replanting, or because of them being riverfront do require replanting? I don't remember.
The policy, give me a second.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the policy is, my goal is to replant anyway, so.
Yeah, our policy is
Yeah, I'm not,
it's only required for living trees. But if there's any life left in
Yeah.
it, then it needs
Okay.
replanting. At least 1 for 1, but more than 1 for 1 is ideal.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that. And then the other topic while you're bringing the map up, Jackie, is the roots. So the roots do have to stay in place, but we do allow going down to grade and covering the roots, or is it required that we leave stumps?
So I think generally to qualify for the RDNI, you can grind the stump to ground level, but you can't dig out the roots.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
Okay.
Let me see if I can pull up my map is having issues, so I have to do a different one.
And these are all our standard conditions for removals. So these would be already in the standard conditions. Yeah, no, this all rings a bell. We haven't, I feel like we have.
I have it in front of me, and it just basically it's that the no net loss of trees policy extends to living trees, but not to dead trees and
Yeah.
snag that pose a threat. And
That's how I recalled it.
then let's see. We touch on the stumps.
Yeah, so if you want to see the river is right here. It is across the street from the trees, but it's still pretty close.
Mhm.
Yeah, it gets pretty wet over there. Actually, the water comes all the way. That area on the other side of the street, away from the river, gets very wet.
Yeah.
So I just think we just go down to the ground. They can't remove the stumps. They just have to leave the stumps. That's what always been our policy.
Yeah, but they can grind them to grade.
Yeah, I think so. They just
Okay.
can't remove the stump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, shall we have a motion?
before you have a motion, I have one quick question. So
Oh.
I don't plan on replanting in the exact same spot where these trees are anyway.
Mhm.
But in the case of pedestrians, because that road is traveled pretty significantly, people walk on the road and off the road. These trees are pretty close to the edge of the road. So as these roots and trunks decompose, doesn't it create a hazard?
You'd have to talk to your
Meetings?
arborist about that.
Well, no,
You
but
know.
I mean, if you have some wood that's below the ground, it decomposes, it becomes soft, and if somebody's walking there, it doesn't create a hazard. I mean, we don't need to talk to an arborist to say that a rotted tree
Well,
is soft when you step on it.
Okay, but that would trigger a different type of application. So, because that would require more intense work, I believe. I mean, is that what are you suggesting in terms of
I'm just asking the question.
we don't know. I don't know how long it would take for your stump to rot. If you saw evidence of that and were looking for other relief, you would just come back to us at that
Well,
point.
so when Jackie and I walked the site, I literally reached inside some of the other trees that we're going to leave and literally ripped out pieces of the tree that were rotted, decomposed, and it was pretty close to I mean, it was soft. It was decomposed completely. So it's already in that state. I mean, I'm not
Yeah, I
trying to be
mean,
argumentative. I'm just asking a question. Doesn't it seem reasonable?
I think
Well, yeah,
I would
yeah.
I would presume that like underneath the soil, the roots as they decompose will become soil. So it's already just kind of full of root material that would then become soil and fungi and whatever else is in there. So I don't think it would become like a void under the ground. If there's a stump, it is going to decompose and slowly, like as it breaks apart, it will kind of disintegrate. But
Yeah, that's right. It's more of a maintenance issue, and I understand the whole concept of the roots actually preventing erosion. So I get it. So I can actually um, grind below the surface, and then Andrew, I think you mentioned I can cap it or not cap it, or what's the actual policy?
Typically, we just have the tree cut to the ground. It doesn't go, and no activity goes below the surface.
Yeah, I would describe it to at grade.
Yeah, that's the requirement for the RDNI.
I may have misspoken earlier, and I apologize for that. Yeah. And then, yeah, just for the replacement plantings, we do require that they be native plants, but I think you're aware of that. So I think this is pretty reasonable to me.
Any other questions?
Is there an ask to do something different, Mark? That's all I'm trying to understand.
No, I just a point of clarification.
Okay. Then I'm fine.
Maybe-
I can make a motion if everyone's comfortable.
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we issue a determination of negligible impact for RDNI 2025-23 at 37 River Road. That's map 48, lot 13, with the standard conditions, including the requirement for at least one native tree to be planted within 6 months of the tree removals, and that the stumps be left in place. They may be ground to grade level, but no further.
And the required replacement, just a question, the required replacement is only for the tree that's living, correct?
Yes. We would appreciate if you planted more, but the requirement is only for the minimum requirement is for one native plant.
I've always done more, not less.
No, I'm not worried about it. I'm just for the record. And that's my motion was as it stood before the question.
Would anyone like to second it?
I'll second the motion.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to
Oh, we have to
seeing,
vote.
We're gonna vote.
oh, that's right. Shoot. Getting tired. Todd Shamrock, aye.
Jen DeCarlo, aye.
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Maureen Bresnahan, aye.
Ben Calla, aye.
Well, we look forward to seeing the new things coming up, and good luck with the whole project.
Thanks, Doug.
You're welcome. Next we have a request for certificate of compliance. 00C number 3070860 for 5 Fox Run Road, map 47, lot 28. Val, Gregory, and Bernard. Okay, is there someone here who can walk us through this?
Yeah, good evening. For the record, my name's Greg Bernard. I'm here to represent Mr. Evil of 5 Fox Run Road.
Oh, good.
The project entailed the replacement of a septic system. Jackie, if you want, you can share it and I can bring the plan up.
Yep, just a second. I'm pulling it up.
All right, he's sharing it, so I think
Yeah,
we're
you
I've
got
got
it.
it, Jackie.
Yeah.
If you remember, an order was issued for this project at the end of August. We had permission from the Conservation Commission and from the Board of Health to install a new septic system in the front yard. There's Slough Brookway in the back, which is jurisdictional under the Topsfield bylaw. And we had a BVW in the backyard inside the woods, and that brought a 100-foot buffer zone out towards the front of the street. And your commission allowed us to go ahead and issue an order for a replacement septic system in the front yard. What we're looking at here is the as-built plan that I've submitted to Jackie and the commission. But as part of the approval, there was erosion control proposed which was still there as of Monday when Jackie and I did a site walk. The erosion control started at the corner of the house and went around the system towards the fire hydrant out front. Jackie gave me a verbal, an okay for that erosion control to be removed based on our site walk on Monday. The work was completed. The installation of the septic system anyway was completed towards the beginning of September, but we waited for 2 mowings for the grass over the system, which has been completed, and it must have just been recently mowed when Jackie and I were out there on Monday. So we believe we've met all the conditions of the order of conditions and would like to free up some money that's being held up for the sale of the house. And for that, we are requesting a certificate of compliance.
Good to me. I do have a note here that while the posts were installed for the conservation markers, the placards that go onto them had not yet been installed. Is that true?
Oh,
Read the
I
next
noted
one.
that it's all been installed now
Oh,
and it
I'm
looks
sorry.
good.
My apologies. Thank you.
Yeah, there's 2 posts. One's out back, which is where it was requested, and there's another one out back. And you're right, on Monday morning when Jackie and I were out there, the placards weren't on there.
Okay.
So I went down to see Sue, and she was happy to give me a couple, and I put them right back on there.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was just my note from the site visit. That was the only thing.
Yep.
But yep, it's all good now.
Okay. Sounds good. All set with me.
Me too.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Anyone
right.
want to make the motion on this?
Yeah, I think you do, Andrew.
Oh, I do? No one else?
I know you do.
Okay. I'll put forward a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for order of conditions number 307-0860 at 5 Fox Run Road, map 47, lot 28, with all continuing conditions as specified on the order of conditions.
I'll second that motion.
And how do we vote? Dodge Shamrock, aye.
Jen DeCarlo, aye.
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Marion Bressingham, aye.
Ben Kayla, aye.
Okay, folks, it's just before 9. We have a lot of enforcement orders coming up. I suggest a 10-minute break so we can stretch our legs.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So we'll reconvene at 9:02.
Yeah, I can't really make the motion, so Andrew, you can make the motion if we need one for that.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we pause the Conservation Commission meeting for 10 minutes to reconvene at 9:02 p.m.
I'll second that motion.
How do we vote? Dodge Shamrock, aye.
Jen DeCarlo, aye.
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Marion Bressingham, aye.
Ben Kayla, aye.
See you at 9:02.
Okie dokie. I'll make a motion that we reconvene the November 12th, 2025 meeting of the Conservation Commission at 9:02 p.m.
I could second that.
And how do we vote? Dodge Shamrock, aye.
Jen DeCarlo, aye.
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Marion Bressingham, aye.
Ben Kayla, aye.
Good evening, everyone, again. We'll resume with enforcement orders. 51 Asbury Street, owners Troy and Sydney Turner. And I think, Jackie, you may be the one to explain this one.
Yes,
Is it-
so I received a complaint that trees and other vegetation had been cleared at 51 Asbury Street, viewable from the Ipswich River Wildlife Sanctuary. It's very close to the Ipswich River, and I visited the site. I confirmed that the complaint was accurate in terms of the location, and I observed that the trees had been removed when comparing to the photos and aerials from earlier this year. I'm trying to find my photos to show you all, but I sent a violation notice to requesting the homeowners to attend tonight's meeting. I don't think they're here, but if anyone's here to speak on their behalf, please let me know. Hearing none. me just pull up this photo. Okay, I got it just a second. All right, let's see. It's right here. Okay, can you all see that?
Yep.
Yes, very
Yep.
definitely.
So you can see that along this bank, it's kind of clear in this area. And then if I go and find the photo from before, the person who complained sent me a photo of how it looked before, and it did look very different. So look at this photo. The before photo. So you can see along the bank to the left, viewed from the same bridge, how different it looked before.
Yikes.
Yeah, so very close to the river, very sensitive area. I think deserving of an enforcement order requiring restoration of the area. I think we should require that they submit a restoration plan. I did give them notice and I didn't hear back from them in any sort of way. But maybe if we send out the enforcement order, that will be taken more seriously than just the letter. I hope. But yeah, any questions or anything?
I mean, you were physically able to go out and see the site. Would you consider it unstable going into the winter? I mean, all we can do at this point is send out the enforcement order, and it will require some form of stabilization. But I mean, how bad are we looking right now?
It's hard to say because I really could only view it from that distance, without going onto private property.
Right. Okay.
As I
Understood.
said, I didn't hear back from them, so I didn't get permission to go look at it closer. And there's really no neighbors that would give me a better view other than the Audubon land. I mean, to me, it looks like, I don't know, it sort of looks like it's been like mowed and cleared of vegetation, but I don't think the soil has been dug up
Okay.
from what I can tell, but it's hard to say without going on site.
Yep. Understood.
Yeah, I'll pull up the photo of the current condition, but certainly doesn't look good. But yeah, it's hard to say what the full extent of it is without going out there. I
Yep.
don't know what the measurements are, dimensions. Yeah.
Mostly underbrush, at least the football field's length.
Maybe.
Like it looks like the trees are left though. Is that true?
So
Hard
I
to
think
seeing
compare
some
those two
stumps.
photos.
I think there's a few stumps in there at least. Yeah, it was
But you're
reported
going
that it
all the
was
way down to the
trees
pine, right?
and vegetation. It looks like it. Yeah, if you compare the two photos, it's
Any way you can put them side by side, Jackie?
let me see. Maybe if I share my overall screen instead of just one window of it.
It'd be interesting to know when the other picture was taken, because,
Yeah,
it may look more dramatic because the vegetation has died down and the leaves have fallen off the plants.
yeah, let me see when that was taken. I'll stop my share just so I can go find that. 'Cause I think
That one stump appears to be
I'm
seasoned.
definitely for sending an enforcement order out.
But that
Um,
one stump, Andrew, appears to be seasoned. It doesn't look fresh.
Okay.
So that old photo was taken at the same location on October 6th, 2024.
Year. It looked like more of the bushes to me that were all ripped out, but I don't. If we can see them side by side, maybe we can talk about trees.
Hmm.
Yeah, see if I can.
I was surprised how dense
do
it
that.
was, like under 10 feet.
Yeah. I mean, we can only go into so much depth right now. If we issue the enforcement order and Jackie's able to go onto the site,
Yeah.
a lot more information can be gathered. So I don't necessarily want to like go down too many rabbit holes right now. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. You know, I think that this deserves attention. I
Yeah,
think
definitely.
the kind of threshold for the enforcement orders has been met. And it's discouraging that they didn't respond to the letter or show up tonight.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
That work?
Pretty good. Pretty good. We have that nice the limb that's hanging into the river as a reference point. So
Yep.
yeah. I mean, it's hard to say. But I mean a significant amount of underbrush was removed, obviously. And some of it could be just dieback from the winter, but I mean there'd still be stems and stuff. So this has been cut.
Yeah, I think when I looked up this house, it seemed like it was purchased in the past year. So I wonder if someone moved in and was not aware of the
Mm.
wetland regulations, unfortunately, and went and did this.
Yep.
Hopefully not on purpose because they
Well,
didn't know.
probably to enhance the view, probably from the house, I
Yeah.
suspect. Or access.
I understand.
Couple of Adirondack chairs in there.
ODC. You guys have much better vision than me.
I don't see a chair.
No, I'm like,
Straight.
yeah.
I said I'm sorry, you could imagine.
Oh,
Oh,
Couple of Adirondack chairs and a little table right there.
yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the first thing people do is they, unfortunately. Are there any, did you happen to look to see if there are any existing, orders of condition or anything related to this property? Because those typically would be things that they would have had notice of.
This was not approved. Yeah, there was
Not this, but I mean, did the property itself have other orders of
And
condition?
with the title. Mhm.
Yeah, on the, exactly.
I don't think it had anything, at least not recently. I feel like when I had looked in the folder, I didn't find anything. So if there was anything, it would have been a while ago.
Yeah, I'm curious, like if there was something, this house, I don't recall it coming to us in the last, whatever, how many years, but
No, I don't either.
Yeah, the house is
Um,
so far away that I think when the house was built, it probably would not have needed a permit. I
It's
mean, just
completely
guessing
secluded.
because looking at it, it's way up the hill to the left, looking at those photos.
Mm.
Like pretty far from the river.
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
it's secluded. It's all, is it? I'm trying to think of where this is.
Yeah, I
It's
had to
near,
walk out like a mile through the Audubon Sanctuary to get to it.
Yeah.
oh.
I want to say I feel like I know where this is because I think I've been birding out there, but it's fairly close to Harold Parker, like on the road on the other side, and you can actually, I think there's a public sort of right of way path that you can get to that bridge from. I might be
Bradley Palmer.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
brother.
Yeah, I think I got to it
Bradley
from
Palmer, or
Perkins
Harold Parker?
Road, but it was
Bradley Palmer.
or it was near the Steward School, I think, that I
Okay,
started the path based on the trail maps that I could find.
gotcha.
Oh, look at this. There's the Topsfield Conservation Commission going back to 1992. I'm looking at the title just to see if there was anything on it. So, I mean, I don't know if somebody would have brought that to their attention when they were purchasing, but typically, if there is an order of conditions, they'll bring it to the attention. But if it's, if it's been closed out, it's old. I mean, it's very old,
Yeah,
but
that's pretty old.
but still interesting.
Yeah.
So here, so let's just think about this practically though. So obviously the thing would be to, sorry, I didn't mean to put my computer down. I was looking at the big screen for those Adirondack chairs.
I was wondering what that was happening.
Sorry, I was looking, I have another monitor behind my laptop and I closed it to look for the Adirondack chairs and then I forgot I left it closed. Sorry about that. So anyway.
I was just speculating.
Where's Waldo? Where's Adirondack chairs? Okay, so what practically speaking though, because we're in November, right? And so you've issued an enforcement letter. The folks didn't show up. Now the goal is for us to ratify this enforcement order,
Oh,
right?
I didn't issue
you
an
haven't even-
enforcement order. I just issued a violation notice.
Okay, so
I could have
next-
gone and issued an enforcement order on the spot and had you all ratify it, but I thought since this is not work actively taking place, as far as I could tell, I didn't think it was urgent enough that I needed to. But sometimes we do that. So this is just a violation notice that I'm proposing we take the next step and issue an enforcement order.
So, and if we do that, is the goal to get them back here with a restoration or some other permitting? And I guess I'm like, I'm just trying to think practically speaking, what's the time frame for that? Because now we're headed into winter. I mean, they'll have to come to our next meeting, right? After we issue the enforcement order.
I mean, I think we could put the deadline for the restoration plan out by more than one meeting if we want to give them time.
You had
Well-
January 31st as a recommendation.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping they would show up and then we could tell them that they have like 2.5 months to get it done. I feel like that's generous, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we require them to come to our next meeting and then by the 31st have, at least have a restoration plan or at a bare minimum have retained a wetland scientist to, go through the extent of the damage and be making progress towards a restoration plan.
Yeah, I guess I'm just thinking because this is such a unique site in the sense that we can't just go out there. Like you'd have to get on a kayak basically, or go on their property. And I'm just thinking out loud really about how we document this. But I guess we leave it to their wetland scientists to document the before and after. But it seems like we're in this critical phase where suddenly it's going to be winter and it's going to be difficult to. I mean, they can't really document the before anyway. I guess it's documenting the current, because now it's going to be covered with snow and then they're going to come back in January and, we just have this one picture of the existing. Sorry.
I think we should issue an enforcement order just to make sure that it doesn't continue. I pulled it up on Google Maps. And this is the copyright is 2025, and it looks like there may be a sizable tree down.
But it looks to me like I saw that tree 2 years ago. I was looking on the left and it seems to me the tree was definitely leaning over. If you go back to those two side-by-side photos.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that we're going down a little bit of a rabbit hole without all the info right now. So,
Right, this would
Like,
at least get us to hear their
This is
side of the
the
story,
Google's
right?
map. Like, does this look like a significant tree that's been felled?
yeah.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
a 2025.
Hmm.
I can look at
2025
I can
Google
look
map.
at my aerials too.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
town gets aerials like several times a year, so I can look at them and try to figure it out when it happened and what the comparison
Ooh.
looked like too.
I
Well-
say we make a motion to order of conditions this.
Someone want to make the motion?
Maureen sounds like she does.
Or you mean enforcement order, not order of
Yeah,
conditions?
yeah. Sorry.
I'm happy to make one if you don't want to, but just
Enforcement order. Just, yeah. I may to issue an enforcement order to the owners of 51 Asbury Street for the unpermitted removal of trees and vegetation in the riverfront and buffer zone resource areas. requiring the property owners to cease and desist from further work within the area subject to protection under WPA and Topsfield bylaw, and requiring a restoration plan to be filed by January 31st, 2026 by a qualified environmental consultant, and a plan for native plants and trees to restore the area.
I'll second that motion.
How do we vote? Todd Shamrock, aye.
Jen DeCarlo, I.
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Maureen Bresnahan, aye.
Ben Kyle, aye.
Okay, well, hopefully those folks will reply to us. I'd like to see it fixed and looking nice again. All right, next we have, hold on. My place myself. Yep, hold on.
Oh, we have 152 Haverhill Road.
Yeah, I
So
just didn't flip the page.
I was just gonna give a quick update.
Yeah,
that,
go ahead.
We received the yearly monitoring report. Conservation markers need to be installed, and I'm planning to do a site visit next week to review it with Bill Manuel.
Okay.
Is this, the property next to the gas station?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else we need to know about that? No
No, I
action
think
required.
that's
right.
all for now.
All right, next we have an enforcement order at 38 Candlewood Drive, map 43, lot 2, status update. And looks like there are no updates.
I think we
Yeah,
missed,
yeah, you missed
Canterbury Hill Road.
30 Canterbury Hill Road.
Oh, 30
Let's-
Candlewood.
we can just close
Sorry.
out 38 while
But
we
yeah,
have it.
38 has
Yeah.
no updates. We can close that
Okay.
out.
Okay.
I'm not
Alright.
close out, but for now.
All right, sorry, folks. Enforcement order 30 Canterbury Hill Road, map 19, lot 67. And
Yep, so for that one, we had the after the fact NOI, which was submitted on time on the deadline. But the legal ad was not published in time, and that's why we were not able to hear it today. That was entirely the fault of Salem News, who was very apologetic, and I think there was confusion with the posting date because of the holiday, making the business days not match up as usual. So they offered to publish it again for free, which is nice of them, but we just have to wait until the next meeting.
that's
But
the December
not the
10th
applicant's
meeting.
fault. So
Yeah, and this doesn't require any extensions on the EO, right? For them
no,
to
I think
remain in
our
compliance.
last deadline was just for them to submit their NOI, which they did. So then I think if there are any portions of the NOI that we could, if we do not approve the NOI, then the restoration plan would need to be submitted by a date of our choosing. If we do approve the NOI, then we could add deadlines for when certain items should be completed, like the mitigation, if it's relevant to the enforcement being resolved.
Makes sense. So no actions necessary on this.
Right.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have an amendment order 2016-01, 25 and 20 rear Johns Lane map 76 lot 4, a status update.
Yeah, let's combine this with the other two enforcement orders and discuss them all together, since they're all near each other. So we have
Go ahead, yeah.
2016-01, 2022-04, and 2024-04, all of them being within 25, 20R, and 21 Johns Lane, which are all adjacent to each other. So I guess I'll give the commission an update on our recent site visit. So I visited the site on Monday, 2 days ago. Commissioner Ben Kiela was there too, and property owner Ray Lawton. on site. We reviewed all the areas of the previously issued enforcement orders. So first, the area behind the house remains fairly similar to how it has been. I guess I should mention all the deadlines for these were in early November and have passed. And Ray Lawton is requesting continuance or extension of the deadlines on all of the enforcement orders. And for that, giving that context. So starting with the enforcement order next to the house, the most recent one, I'll show a photo of how that one looks. Let's see.
If I could just say one thing, Ray Lawton had requested to attend tonight's meeting. but
Oh yeah,
happened-
he is here, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, he was requested to attend the meeting and he has attended the meeting.
Good.
So
Yeah.
thank you for being here.
How about Mike DeRosa? Did he attend or no?
No, he's not here.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess I'll pull up the sketch of the restoration areas. As a review that we have these different enforcement orders. We have the trees over here, where there were tree replantings after the trees had been cleared in 2022. We combined that enforcement order with the driveway just to have less enforcement orders going around. But the driveway area is over here, and that one, the restoration plan was due. Or no, not the restoration plan, but we received the plans already, but the plan was meant to be implemented by early November and it has not been done. That area looks like it's been untouched on either side of the driveway. So at least the plants are still there, but that have regrown, but the new plantings have not been installed. The area behind the house looks similar to last I saw it. It's been being used for the construction of the house within the buffer zone, and that restoration plan had been to restore it with grass and some plantings along the edge, but that none of those plantings have gone in yet. Then this section here to the right was for the what was kind of a culvert pipe going under the road that has this one is the only one where there has been sort of a significant change with the bridge being installed. I feel like the bridge is the only part that really has been installed, but then it doesn't match the original plan for the bridge. So that's one thing to discuss. And then I feel like we might want to get an as-built for the bridge just so we can compare and contrast what if anything differs from the original plan. And then another thing there is that the vegetated area along the wetland seems to have shrunk in the past 2 years. So that may be an issue. And then also the area in the wetlands to the right of the bridge has been used for construction. That needs to be revegetated, I think, beyond what the restoration plan had originally shown. I know the bridge is going to have guardrails added, and that's no issue. Hopefully that will make it safer to use. But let me show photos of all that. Let's see where my photos are. Too many photos up from the Asbury Street. Okay, here's how the house construction area looked in May. I'd say it looks pretty much the same right now. I didn't get as good of a photo of it this time because it was from the other side, but here it is looking at it from the other side. The buffer zone line goes right to the edge of the house, so all of this is in the buffer zone, and then let's see. So we went around to this area. So you can see there's a lot of kind of exposed dirt here that will need to be revegetated. Also along this vegetated area, the lawn has kind of been encroaching on the vegetation. So I think some of that needs to be put back to how it was before. The bridge is here. It looks like it has, to me, it looks like it has a wider footprint than it did on the plan. So we might need to consider whether any additional mitigation is needed for that. But I think first, just to get an as-built plan of how it looks would help us compare.
Okay.
And then let's see. Here's another view of the bridge, just a wider view. The erosion controls are in place, but the bridge construction did significantly impact the wetlands on this side with it looks like machinery or something had been down in here, which is within the actual wetland. So that's kind of something we need to restore at this point. And then let's see. This area, there's a little bit of construction debris right next to the tree plantings, which I asked for that to be taken out. But Ray said that that will be removed shortly. And then the driveway area, as I said, remains untouched on either side of the road. But the restoration plan was not implemented. Yeah, so did the commission have any questions about that?
So look, I think for this one, it makes sense to kind of, again, kind of go site by site as we discuss them, just because there's a lot of info. Thank you, Jackie, for the overview. Dodds, I don't mean to overtake here.
No, go
happy to
ahead.
hear what you'd like to do. In terms of just to potentially do some of the low-hanging fruit on this, the area nearest to the road, that section that we discussed with the paving, my understanding is what's currently out of compliance there is that the restoration plantings that were supposed to go in are not in, but basically because the paving is going to happen, the goal is to wait until after the paving for those restoration plantings to go in. So that,
Yes.
and sorry to be annoying, but just administratively, could you introduce yourself again?
I'm sorry. It's Ray Lawton. I'm the owner of the property there.
Thank you.
No.
Okay, yeah. So for that section, I think that makes some sense to wait. But I mean, Jackie, what's your opinion there?
I mean, I don't think it's a good time to be planting right now, honestly. I mean,
Okay.
It's too bad that it didn't get done during the growing season, but right now I don't think the plants would do very well.
Okay.
I mean, at least we have ground cover there, so I'm not concerned about that site over the winter lasting, remaining as is, as long as the driveway repaving doesn't, or the new driveway paving doesn't impact that area on either side. I think that site is stabilized for winter. I think for the bridge, I do think we need to do some work to stabilize the slopes.
Okay.
But we can get to that later.
Yeah. Okay, so for the enforcement order with respect to the road, though, we would need to grant an extension to the deadline for the plantings in order to remain
Yeah.
compliant, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
I mean, so,
I don't know if the, oh,
oh, go ahead.
go for it. Sorry, I cut you off.
So I think Ray had requested an extension to April, but I honestly think that even April is not the best time for plantings to go in. I think it's gonna take, I feel like May and June is kind of when
And
you
that's what
start to be able to.
I actually talked to Mike today, and he wanted till June. So I had already sent you that letter, but maybe it should be June. He thinks that's a better month to plant and
Okay.
they'll survive better.
Okay. I guess if you just, either with respect to all of them, or just for this area, these were not installed earlier because you knew that you were going to want to pave this area, and that's why these were not put in place.
Correct.
Okay.
I was working in that area. I just didn't want to disrupt anything. And then I wanted to, once it's all finished, I wanted to be done. So he's.
No, I totally understand. I guess what I'm having a little bit of difficulty with is that when the restoration plan came in front of us, we discussed these deadlines. And now, it sounds like there was this other idea of paving that either wasn't brought up at the time or you didn't know that you wanted to do. And so I'm just trying to meld those two ideas.
It was really the whole construction just took me longer than I thought with my house. So it just,
Okay.
the timing just, and I worked really hard, even putting the bridge in. Jackie will contest. I worked really hard to get the bridge done. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, no, I totally understand it. I'm not trying to be accusatory here. I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get everything done as fast as I can.
Mhm.
And I will get everything done as soon as I can, and the weather permits me to do it. I will get it done.
Okay.
Do you think it's a
understand.
reasonable date to
does
get
anyone have-
this accomplished?
What was that? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I asked, what do you think is a reasonable date for you to get this accomplished?
Well, Mike Drosa said June would be the best month. So May and June to do all the plantings and all that. He thinks the weather would be the best those months to plant. So I would say that,
Okay.
I'll get it probably May. We'll get it all in, and by June we should be able to get it inspected.
Okay. So potentially by our June meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I would say. I'll be really focused on that to get that done.
Yep.
As behind the bridge there, I was telling Jackie before. So the person before me filled that all in with gravel and all that, and put that pipe in. And I removed it all, and I removed all the dirt and the gravel and the reprocessed paving, all the stuff that wasn't supposed to be there. I removed out of that area. That's the area you see. That was work. So I'll stabilize that. Mike wants to put down some hay and seed down there to stabilize it for the winter. So I'll do that. But that's why I was there. I was just pulling out, because now it's back to where it was originally.
Okay. So does anyone else have anything on the area nearest to the road, just so we can kind of mentally compartmentalize that off? Okay. I think just because I think will also be fairly quick, the area near the house. That also remind me here, Jackie, the requirement there was for plantings around the house as well, and those are also out of or past.
Yeah, so, oh, it froze for a second. Yeah, so that area behind the house was meant to have plantings and grasses, and that has not been done. I mean, you can see in the photo, it's just gravel back there and there's vehicles, so that will need to come out as soon as it's able to, although I understand in the winter it might not be able to plant back there, so.
And so
we talked about this a little bit at the site visit, right? So this was another thing that was hinging on the paving. So I guess I'm just really curious to when's the plan to pave?
Right away. So we're hoping, by the end of next week, we're paving.
Okay.
Because that's the only access to my son's house and my daughter's house. So the bridge was really the key. So the bridge is now in. And so now that road is back usable again, once I get that all finished, I'm gonna take that road out of there this year. So that'll be done right away. As soon as
Yep.
we get the paving done, then I'll work with Jackie and I'll remove all that stone and all that and all that. I'll get it seeded and hayed at least for this year.
Okay.
And then the plantings will come in the springtime when it's nicer out.
Okay.
So Jackie was going to be in the loop on the paving too. So is there just a reasonable timeline for how long after the paving is completed?
Right away. As soon as we're paving, when they're using that road, I'll have the machines over there taking that dirt out, that stone out of there.
Okay.
immediately.
Is that a week? What's right away?
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a smart goals guy.
A week is fine, yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe for that one, we set the deadline of our next, the December meeting as the deadline for that work.
Removing the stone, yeah, okay, yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay, so December meeting, is going to be stone your house.
The plantings won't be done yet, and like it'll just be stabilized.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it'll be stabilized with hay and grass. And I'm just trying to keep things, because there's a lot of moving pieces here. That's why I'm trying to
Yeah.
compartmentalize
Yeah,
stuff.
that's good, yeah.
Just for a quick note, June 10th is our meeting.
All right. Okay. And then it's December 10th is our December meeting, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I think that covers the
I have
area
a
near.
conflict. I'm not going to be able to attend on the 10th.
Okay.
Is anyone else not able to attend on the 10th?
That should be good.
Okay, we should still have a quorum then, so it's fine.
Okay. So I think that covers those two areas. So moving on to the bridge, which is kind of the big one for this area. So items on the list are that there was the fill that was removed that, I think it sounds like it was reasonable why it was removed. It does need to be stabilized. Jackie, again, please correct me if I'm wrong or you have a differing opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean, the area that's to the right of the bridge on the plan, like, I don't think removing fill there was part of the restoration plan.
Okay.
So I question why that wasn't part of the original restoration plan, why was that not identified as an issue, if that was an issue? I mean, I certainly didn't notice it before. So I sort of wonder if it was just used as part of the bridge project, like soil to build, I don't know.
No, when you were digging it, you could see the difference in the soil. One was like gravel and dark, and the other one was that muddy stuff that you see that was there originally. But we didn't take much out of it. You could see the areas that we did. There's a tree there that's still there, and that's the elevation that was there before. So it's not like, but we just took out any area we thought that was, and it's not that far in there, but we took out any area we thought that was not original, and that shouldn't be in there. And then now the plantings, we'll put the plantings in there, and I think, and I don't know, I think that's it. And the width between the two bridges, it's actually wider now than it was in the original drawing. So you're saying like maybe we encroached on it, but we actually, well, I'll do it. I'll have an as-built done, but that space in between there is actually, it's greater than it was originally
Okay.
on the drawing. So
Yeah, I'm concerned about the space in between, but also like the width of the kind of sloped areas with the rocks. I mean, maybe it cancels out if the width is wider in between, but I'd just like to see an as-built just to be able to compare and
Yeah.
So the commission can sort of see the changes.
Yeah. that's I'll have Moral Group do that.
Yeah, so I don't know when we want that by, but I don't think it's a huge rush, but because we have the winter anyway coming up where we can't do much. But
Yeah, I'll have to ask John, but I don't know how long it takes for them to go out there and do the as-built, but I could stabilize it right away as far as I put the hay down, the seed down.
yeah, and then I guess the original restoration plan for the plantings didn't go far enough into that area that has now been disturbed from the project. So I think we need to sort of expand the restoration area to include additional area.
Yeah, I'll have Mike Gross look at that.
Uh, 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 Okay.
And you good with other things, Maureen?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess another thing, if I can find the map, I'll just show you all what I mean about the like the buffer zone planting area that seems to be shrinking over time. Let me see.
See that?
So you see here, this is the September 27th of this year. That's what it looked like around that wetland. The bridge is right here. I don't know if you can see my cursor. It wasn't there in this photo, but now it is. That's how fast this bridge was built.
And is that erosion control that we're seeing in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
semicircle? Okay.
So I think this was taken after the erosion control was put in, but before the bridge was put in. And then if you go back, you can see how much more vegetated area we had back then around the wetland. And it was still there in April 2024. You can kind of see the shadow of where it is with the winter state of it. But then this year it's a lot smaller. So that's a loss of vegetation in the buffer zone. I mean, at least part of it's in the buffer zone. So I think that needs to be fixed.
Mhm.
Yeah, so if you
Looks like
see,
it's been mowed, right? Is that
yeah, it seems like the mowed areas is
But that's been mowed, I don't know, I mean, but if you go back on your photos back years before, that used to be all farmland. That was all mowed at one time. And then it was mowed, sometimes it's not mowed, sometimes it grow in, sometimes they mow it again. But if you going back, years past, you'll see that there's years past that there's no vegetation there at all. Just because when it was a farm, they used to grow in that whole area.
yeah, I mean, I know when we had that the original violation there, I mean, it was completely bare at that point, but then it was restored around the wetlands. Let me see if I can pull up the old photos. You can see how much it has improved since that point, but
It's
that's
been
2015.
Yeah, that's been mowed though for years back. I'm talking when it was a farm there. They used to mow that whole area. That whole thing was always mowed.
Well,
So
the
here's how it was in
Wetlands Protection
2015.
Act.
So
Yeah.
you can see how it was cleared back then and then it had to be restored. But I mean, if it was, even if it was farmland going back, if it then became a vegetated area, like now that's what we need to maintain. If it wasn't maintained as farmland continuously since then, 'cause that's just how it works.
The rules are if it's agricultural land.
Yeah, I don't think it's being used as agricultural land either currently.
It's gonna be a horse farm eventually. But all right, well, we can talk about that and whatever needs to be done, we'll make it right.
Does anyone else have any thoughts on it?
How do you guys like the bridge, by the way? I worked really hard on it. Stone and all that. I thought it came out pretty nice.
I think it looks pretty good. I think it's better than a culvert.
Oh, I hated that stupid thing. I think it looks nice with the stone on either side and it's I think it looks pretty sharp.
Did you weld it together?
Yes, yeah, I built it myself. Well, some of my kids and some of the guys. Yeah, we did it all. So it came out really nice. It's actually it's like a highway bridge. My friend he builds highway bridges. So that thing there you could put a tank on that. And it would hold it. So it's pretty rugged. But it's really nice looking with the stone. We laid all the stones by hand, and
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it was I think it's pretty. It looks like a Vermont bridge type of thing.
I think it's probably going to be fantastic when it's all said and done, back there. It's going to look great.
Yes, I'm very excited. My wife's very excited to be next to the grandkids.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
All right, so let's get this thing rolling.
Yep.
Was there anything else? I mean, the deadlines, I guess we haven't resolved this restoration of that area, right, Jackie? Whether or not, or
How about by
Yeah.
June 20th? The same as the other things.
Yeah. It seems like it would fall in with the plantings logically with me, right?
Yeah.
Right. But I guess
Or
what's
June
occurred
10th, I
here,
meant to say.
I think so yes, but I think what we have to just quickly make sure that we're all in agreement on is that the space has, I don't want to say degraded, um, but is no longer being maintained as a vegetated wetland. It's being mowed, and does that constitute something that's within our current EOs, that we can expand the current EOs to cover? Am I understanding that correctly, Jackie?
Yeah, I think so. It's in the same general area, so
Okay.
I think we can expand the scope of it. I think that's better than making more EOs at this point.
No, I did not. No. I just wanted to confirm that I was understanding that correctly. I mean, unfortunately, my understanding is that once something is given up and allowed to revegetate, you can't reclaim it, even if in years past it was once lawn or mowed. It's sort of use it or lose it,
Or not without a permit.
or at least not
But-
without a permit. Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, there's limitation to what you can get permit for in the buffer zone.
right.
So I don't know if it would have been permitted based on our regulations.
Right. Okay.
So I counted a couple deliverables, right? By the next meeting, we would have proof that the gravel road behind the house the gravel had been removed and that had been stabilized.
Yep.
And then June 10th, we should have plantings.
Yep.
And that would restore both areas on both sides of the bridge.
Yep.
And then behind the house.
And the front entrance coming in.
I wasn't sure if there was a date on it, so that's in the June too. Okay.
Yeah, I think that I mean the paving's going to happen sooner than that, and as long as it's stabilized for the winter, then that's fine. But the actual final plantings need to be done by our June meeting.
So
I think
it's only
all,
the two dates that I counted as the next two check-in points, but correct me
yeah,
if
I
I'm
mean
wrong.
the stabilization of the around the bridge needs to happen by at least our next meeting, I think. And then the as-built plan, I mean, our next meeting's in a month. Is 2 months reasonable? Not to add a third date into the mix, but I mean,
Probably, I would say 2 months, I'd be able to.
Okay.
If they can't do it for some reason, I don't know why you couldn't, then I'll ask Jackie, but I'll try to get it done as soon as I can. They can go there anytime and do it.
yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like we want the as-built plan for you, not just for us to compare, but I feel like you want to have that as something that we've approved, or else any time in the future, like a conservation agent could look at your bridge and decide that it doesn't match the plan and that it's an issue. So
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Jen.
I don't know. I mean, if we are extending the deadlines out, the question of the monthly reporting, I guess,
Oh, yeah.
is, you know, we are certainly in, right on the edge of the winter at this point. So I think we definitely need reports that coincide with these deadlines for sure. Or maybe, I mean, he's going to be, I'm assuming, appearing at our meetings, so we'll get those, reports, but we should have probably a written report provided in advance of the meeting that discloses that these things have, how they've been handled.
I can send an update to Jackie as things are progressing.
Yeah. I mean, I think there has to be at least some, not only, reporting and appearing at the meeting, but then also, Jackie has to go out and just verify that these things
Yeah.
have been done. That way we can check them off the box. But the plan also needing to be revised, so that would be with Mike, obviously, that task.
Mhm.
With respect to that area it's now been added, right? Near the bridge.
Mhm.
I don't have anything else. I just want to see it done right, and to meet the deadlines, because, just like you, I think, we want to feel like all this progress has been made, and I know your focus is on getting the construction done, so the goal would be to get these deadlines, let's satisfy them, because they were originally in your control. And so, the fact that we missed them after so long, these enforcement orders are so old. Um, it's a little bit disheartening, but it sounds like you're close to the finish line. So I don't know. I don't think I have anything else to add.
Right. Can we someone focus and put it in sequence how these events are going to happen and where?
Yeah, so do we need to do each enforcement order, Jackie? Go through each one? Like, what's your suggestion here to keep us organized?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably easiest for me, like to be able to take these minutes and write up the EO if we do it by enforcement order.
Okay, do you need us to make a motion, or can we make a generalized motion that you as the agent, we approve you modifying the enforcement orders as discussed at this meeting?
I think I'd like to confirm the deadlines and which items for each deadline that we're asking for. So for the 2016 enforcement order which is for the bridge area. So for that one, we're looking for
June 10th for the plantings
we're looking for an as-built by the January meeting.
Yes, so immediate stabilization at
Immediate
a bare minimum
stabilization.
by our
Yep.
next meeting. January and as built, and then plantings in by our June meeting.
Yep, and then we wanted a written report in advance of each meeting where something is due.
Yeah.
And you have to you want to be notified too as I'm doing the things.
Yeah, just more communication is good.
And then restoration plan revision, when was that due?
I mean, there's not much we can do, so I think maybe January is reasonable for that. Because we can't do anything except paperwork related to that right now. So, I mean, January.
Okay. And so are we looking for just the area next to the bridge, or also the area where the buffer had shrunk?
I think both.
I think both.
Okay.
The area that if it's the area that you're saying they're mowed, if they don't mow, everything's still there. If they didn't mow it, it would just grow like it was. They didn't take anything out of
necessarily.
it. We didn't remove anything.
Non-native species might outcompete.
I think we leave that up to the environmental science
True.
to determine what level of restoration is needed. Come
Right.
back, and I can leave. I'd be comfortable listening to the environmental scientist at that point, but I do think that it warrants at least an investigation by a scientist.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay, so for the 2016-01, we're requiring immediate stabilization around the bridge due by the December meeting. Revised restoration plan to include the two areas near the bridge by January meeting, which and the as-built of the bridge for the January meeting. Those I guess we can review and decide whether to approve those the revised restoration plan then after that meeting, and then the actual plantings will be due for the June meeting to have all the plantings installed, and then we'll maintain all of the earlier requirements, including the 2 years of monitoring after the plantings are installed. Is that right?
Yeah, I think I have that captured enough to actually make a motion at least on that one. So if you just give me 1 second, I can make a real motion if that's at all helpful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Require monitoring for 2 years after.
Or that was already in the prior.
That it was after all the plantings are in place, so I don't need to update that.
I think just stating that all other requirements, including monitoring, still remain
All other
applicable.
rec, including. In place. Okay, then I will make a motion with respect to enforcement order 2016-01 for 25 and 20 R Johns Lane, map 76, lot 4, to amend it such that there is immediate stabilization near the bridge required by our December meeting, that revised restoration plan for the 2 areas around the bridge, which is the sloped side in which fill was removed, and the area of buffer zone that was described to be shrinking around the resource area, that a revised restoration plan be provided by our January 2026 meeting, and that the as-built plan also be provided by our January 2026 meeting for the bridge. That the actual plantings in this area with respect to the restoration plans be in place by our June 2026 meeting, and that all the other requirements, including monitoring after the plantings are in place, that those requirements remain in place. So,
And that Jackie's going out to inspect these things.
yes, I'll amend it. I'll amend my motion to include that, as work occurs, that the conservation administrator be notified, and that at a minimum monthly reports be provided to the conservation agent.
I'll second that.
And how do we vote? Dodd Shamrock, aye.
Jen DeCarlo, aye.
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Maureen Bresnahan, aye.
Ben Kayla, aye.
Well,
Wait, we got 2 more enforcement orders to update.
don't say that. Okay,
Okay.
good. You keep cutting out, Andrew.
I'm sorry. I know my connection starts to get unstable.
Yeah, it's gone on all night. It's driving me nuts. Okay, go
Well,
ahead.
there's not much I can do about it,
No,
unfortunately.
I understand.
Okay, so let's discuss the next enforcement order 2022-04. Which one is that one with respect to, Jackie?
So that one is for the tree planting area and the entrance driveway area, which we just need. I mean, if the commission is willing to grant the extension for the plantings in the driveway entrance area, That's the main thing that we need. And then retaining all the requirements associated with the tree planting area. And yeah, so just implementing the restoration plans.
Well, it
That's our-
seems that, you know, it's too late to do any plantings that would be successful, so I think we should grant the extension.
Mhm. Okay, then I will put forward a motion to amend the amended enforcement order 2022-04 with respect to 25 Johns Lane, map 76, lot 004. And I will amend it to extend the deadline for the plantings around the driveway such that they need to be in place by our June 2026 meeting, while keeping the other requirements in place, including monitoring for 2 years after the plantings are in place. And that as this work occurs, the be updated, and while work is occurring at a minimum monthly updates.
I'll second that.
And we vote Todd Shamrock, aye.
Jen DeCarlo, aye.
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Maureen Bresnian, aye.
Ben Kayla, aye.
Lastly, 4. Okay, so for this one, I have that the stone near the house needs to be removed by our December meeting. And then that the replacement plantings be in place by our June meeting.
And it needs to be stabilized, right? We wanted hay or something.
Yeah, stone removed and the site stabilized by our December meeting.
Okay.
Okay, and then replacement plantings. Okay. I will put forward a motion to amend the amended enforcement order 2024-04 for Johns Lane, map 76, lot 004, such that the stone surrounding the house, as described in this meeting, is to be removed and the site stabilized by our December meeting, and that replacement plantings be in place by our June meeting. And that as work occurs, the conservation agent will be notified, and at a minimum, monthly reports will be submitted to the conservation agent while work is occurring.
I will second that.
How do we vote Todd Shamrock, aye.
Jen
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Maureen Bresnian, aye.
Ben Kayla, aye.
Okay. Nice job, Andrew.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, Ray, you got a
Thank
lot
you
of
so
work
much.
to do.
I know, I'm working hard.
We're gonna
We
be
know,
checking on
and-
you.
All right.
Thank you
Thanks.
for your patience, and
No. Thank you guys for
We'll get it
working with me. We'll get it all done. But thank you so much. Have a
Good.
great night, everyone.
you as
too.
well.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night now.
Okay,
No more motions for me tonight. I'm done.
you're done. You don't sound
You
hoarse yet.
met your motion quota?
What about the most important to close the meeting? I know we're not there yet, but
That's a good one for new people to
I second
practice
that.
on. Wink,
I
wink.
say Ben gets that one.
Oh, you throw me to the wolves.
oh
That's
yeah,
right.
definitely.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Okay, other things, buffer zone waiver request worksheet.
Was that used tonight? Was that what the first gentleman had?
Oh,
No, I don't
so
think
I
it is.
didn't give people the worksheet yet because
Oh,
it hasn't been approved by you all, but
Oh, okay.
Okay,
It's my recommendation that we hold off on it. I'm particularly concerned about the, fourth provision in the waiver clause that says it's either in the public interest or a takings clause. We saw in the edited version that Jen had worked on, that's qualified. I think that we need to clarify that, and we shouldn't issue you know, guidance document in the form of a worksheet until we've clarified and settled that language. So I would put a pin in the worksheet for now.
I'm okay with that.
Sounds
Do
good,
you raise the
like a
word?
good idea.
Do you want to
So
send
are
me
you-
your suggestion for the language to clarify it?
Well, that's the next thing, right? Regulations.
Oh, so you don't want to do the waiver until we've fixed our regulations? Is that what you're saying?
I think that they're together. I think that, you know, Jen had worked on and made a lot of changes that clarified them and made them easier to read and understand. But I think that we shouldn't issue the worksheet, and I think the proposed amendments to the regulations changed subsection I, and made the public interest takings clause language be an alternative analysis rather than a and analysis. And I think if we're going to change that, and I would recommend that we do change it, I've been doing some research. It looks like that language was cribbed from the variance clause from the WPA. And it makes sense that, you know, the state Wetlands Protection Acts, that there's this high threshold that the requirement, the and requirement for either in the public interest, which would be some significant public works, or a taking clause, and the takings clause it's a very high standard to be met. It means that you're basically, there's no economic value to the property based on the regulatory denial. So I think that it would be premature to upload the worksheet until we've resolved the waiver provision language.
Okay, maybe I misunderstood. I really thought the point of the waiver request worksheet was as a temporary measure until we revise the regs, just to clarify our current regs. Just so that the applicants who've been asking me like what we are asking for the waiver just have guidance on what they need for now. But I totally agree we should change our regs, and then this waiver request worksheet would no longer apply. I hope that our new regs would be less complicated
Easier
than
to
this.
apply, right?
But this was just meant to be something that sort of walks the applicant through our waiver requests so they can check the boxes and submit that to us as like something that easily shows us what they're doing to meet our current waiver criteria. But if that's not something that the commission wants to see, then we don't have to do it. But I was just trying to do that as a temporary measure because I know the reg changes will take us a while to do.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I hear both sides of this. I think my question is, what do we do in the meantime? Which I think leans a little bit into what Jackie's trying to get at. Because I agree they're confusing, they need to be updated, but they are what we are. They are what they are for right now. And so how do we, you know, for the next, you know, 6 months until we can get things updated, and maybe that's even looking like an aggressive timeline. You know, what do we do in the meantime?
Well, I'm okay either way. If the worksheet conforms with what we currently have, I'm okay with it, but I do think we need to change the regulation.
Yes.
And so it's like, you know, how do we move that forward? And are we gonna cause I definitely first of all, I appreciate the work on the worksheet.
Yep.
And I definitely, I believe we did discuss it, but there was a lot that we discussed at that meeting. So, you know, it may or may not be a good idea. I don't think any of us really knows the impact of the worksheet, you know, if it's gonna almost like shine a light on this issue more for applicants, you know, and create more mayhem. I don't know.
I mean, so right now though, minus the worksheet, they still have to
Yeah,
do all the pieces of the worksheet. This was just organizing it to make it a little bit more straightforward. We're
Yeah.
not asking them technically to do anything extra except potentially copy and paste something that was already in a narrative.
Yeah, and I think that's probably okay. I mean, yeah, I think it's
But to Maureen's point, I completely agree. We're making a worksheet with something that we're not entirely comfortable with the wording of. And
yeah.
so I think in an ideal world, yes, we would wait until we have new language there, but we unfortunately have the language that we have right now. And it seems like it's creating some administrative difficulties, to not have it be slightly more explicit, at least for right now. But
Well-
again, this is also above my level of understanding of regulations, so I'm really not the right person to be.
But was anyone miffed? I mean, by the process tonight, I thought that seemed to go fairly smoothly with the first couple where the waiver was requested.
Yeah.
When people come before us, why can't we just make sure we're asking for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're definitely, I think as long as they're triggered to put something in writing, because it should be part of their application, and maybe that's what the worksheet's going to end up doing is forcing that piece of it so that, excuse me, we have it because they think they do have to provide it in writing to us, so that would make sure that that piece of it is captured.
Plus,
But
the worksheet is fundamentally a cut and paste of the text.
Yeah,
Mm.
so it's sort of just giving them a place to just fill out like easily, which like to mark off which reg they're referencing that they're trying to waive or trying to use to meet the waiver criteria, and then letting them fill out their narrative below it. But I just thought it'd be an easier way for them to just give us what we're asking for with like the minimum amount of like checking boxes rather than having to like rewrite all of our regs. And it's easier for me to read if it's a standardized form, so I can easily go down and be like, okay, this is the one that they're trying to use.
I like it actually. I'm looking at it right now. I do like it. Maybe we table it for the next meeting just to digest it a little bit and
Yeah.
put it, back on the agenda. I do like it, and I also one of the reasons I like it is because tonight making the motion for the waiver was so challenging because of all these subparts, but then so that we could instead refer back to this form, that the applicant has requested a waiver in writing, or do we vote to grant that waiver based on what they put in the form, and any other whatever findings that we make at the meeting, and not have to go through that rigmarole of, R-10-4 sub paragraph E sub that's really difficult, I think, from a notes taking point of view too, our meeting minutes. So I definitely like it. If anything, this form really cleans up and streamlines that section to do the actual analysis of what we need to do to change this regulation. Um, I don't know. So maybe we just table it tonight.
Yeah.
Until
Well, and we're missing sub C. I'm just concerned
Oh,
about,
that's because C doesn't apply to buffer zone, and so this is just for a buffer zone. This is a 100-foot buffer zone waiver. So this is
Okay.
only for waivers for work in the buffer zone only.
Not riverfront, not.
And section C was for when it's altering a wetland.
Yeah.
So I took that out since it wouldn't apply in this situation. So their answer would always be no, it doesn't apply.
yeah, but the precise language says the waiver needs to be in writing addressing each of the 4 criteria. So C needs to be in here, and there needs to be a not applicable checkbox.
Yep, I see your point.
Yeah, that means it's going to go onto another page. I tried so hard to squeeze it onto one page.
Make it like size 7 font. No.
It like messes up the whole thing if I try to change the font.
No.
Just make the type smaller.
Formatting is like the pain of That's why this thing is such a mess. It's the formatting, not your form, but the regulation. The formatting is just a, you know what? I teach legal research and writing, and the students, they have no idea, being polite. They just, it's a skill they don't learn about Roman numerals and hierarchy. I don't know, they don't teach that anymore. So like I see that constantly, like they just don't understand numbering, and that's kind of the situation with that regulation. It's like nothing's indented properly. It's a formatting issue mostly. And um, so
Yeah.
I like this form. And I think the question is, where are we going with the waiver? And maybe we do need an interim thing because we just don't know how long this is going to take to revise the regulations. But maybe we take a look at this. I admittedly did not spend any time looking at this, even though you put a lot of hard work into it, Jackie. That's pretty obvious. Maybe we all take a look at it and take a look at the reg and see what needs to be modified and report back and try to get something that's a little, whatever, anything that's missing is addressed. Um, I know it's going to be some more work, but
Yeah, I just want to be really careful not to post anything on the web page that isn't fully vetted and absolutely precise.
Yeah, I'm not
So,
putting this out there until everyone has
Yeah.
voted to approve it, or at least a quorum has voted to approve.
yeah, yeah.
So,
I think we're looking to tabling it, so we do
Okay.
not need to take any action right now, is my
Okay.
understanding.
and your homework is to let me know if you have particular suggestions for it. But also suggestions for the regs themselves are always welcome because that's going to be hopefully a winter project to start working on for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to kind of maybe create some sort of subcommittee to work on the regs and, come up with just do kind of
better language.
better, what is it? Better language. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I almost like do like a little bit of a literature survey of other regs and communities like ours, kind of see what they have, see what makes sense. And
Yep.
then,
So I started looking into that, and the MACC has an Excel sheet that lists every town and city in the state at the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that includes their own bylaws. So yeah,
oh, that's good.
those resources are out there.
Okay, so
All
I guess
right.
we
And
can move on.
I also did I did an AI comparison of our bylaw regulations against the WPA, and I haven't fully vetted the project, but it did a pretty nice job, kind of it at first impression, kind of fleshing out what the distinctions were.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really
Yeah,
good.
thank you for doing that.
Yeah, but it hasn't been vetted for hallucinations, so who knows? It looks good.
Yeah.
Right.
But if
Right.
you're
Okay.
giving it the source material, it's probably going to be decent. Like you gave it to, did you give it, or did you just kind of give it a
Yeah.
command?
I said compare this document,
Yeah.
and I took out the portions, the R10.4 from our bylaw regulations, and said compare this against the state, and it looked like a decent job, but I haven't gone back and vetted it.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. That's a great idea.
Yep.
Very good.
Okay. I move that we table the question of the worksheet until our next meeting.
I'll second that motion.
And how do we vote? Dog Shamroth, aye.
Linda Carlo, I.
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Maureen Bresnahan, aye.
Ben Kayla, aye.
I think that's a very smart thing to do. Sorry, I've been coughing. For some reason.
So I'll volunteer to be on the regulation revision subcommittee.
Yeah, I will too.
Thank you.
I think you're good at,
And I love the worksheet, by the way. I really do. I love
Yeah, I
things.
like the worksheet too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I looked at it. I mean, again, it's the regulations and the wording of stuff. It goes beyond my ability to sort of understand that level of legalese. but I mean, the structure of it seemed to make sense based on my understanding. So it not, maybe not the, I can't speak to necessarily the meat. The way it's formatted makes a lot more sense than the regulations themselves. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and it's certainly
And I
gotta
don't speak-
be so the average person can understand it. That's the most important thing.
Yeah,
That's
and for the
the goal.
subcommittee, we
Yep.
can't have any more than 2 people on it, otherwise we have a quorum, so.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, and
Good to know.
Right, I mean, that's my understanding, is that if we have 3 people, technically, you can conduct business, so.
Oh, we'd have to post it as a regular meeting then.
Yeah.
If we
Plus,
met.
I don't think anyone else wants to volunteer.
Well, I mean, I'd be interested
Kind of a moot
in
point.
participating, but I don't think I would add anything.
I don't know if that's true, but I think you probably would, but I don't really care so much. I mean, do we care if it's a public meeting or not? I don't really care. I'm all for transparency. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody's gonna show up
Yeah.
and be like, do this or that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little more administrative work, but that's
Yeah.
fine if we want to meet as a public meeting.
No, I keep it informal.
Okay.
It's easier.
But if Andrew, if you want to submit comments to me
Yep.
separately on your own, as long as we're not going
Right.
back and forth, it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. No, I mean, I
We'll
think
make-
having
we'll
at
make
least
it
one working,
iterative.
I think
Yeah.
one working session at a minimum, and then, discussing it at our monthly meetings, makes sense. And then
Yep.
we can go from there.
okay, moving on, folks. Did anyone have a chance to, are there any regulations we need to discuss, Jackie?
No, I think that
That-
subcommittee discussion was the discussion.
Right.
So we can move on.
Right, did anyone look at the 2026 deadline, filing deadline and the meeting dates? They're fine with me.
I think we always have to scrutinize it for Topsfield Fair.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that one.
That's always the one
Right.
that's the pain in the neck.
Yes, you're right. I
Might be
totally.
okay. So
Yeah, I think we did look at the Topsfield
14th, I
Fair.
would,
sorry.
when's Columbus Day? Does anyone have can't go
Uh,
backwards 11 days?
Topsfield Fair 2026, I think it already had dates. It's the 2nd to 12th.
Okay, that's great.
Oh, yeah, so that works.
And then let's see, what else do we have to worry about?
Okay, December filing dates 2 days before Thanksgiving.
What was that? No, the November deadline or the
Yeah,
November?
that's fine. It's 2 days before Thanksgiving. The meeting date is the 11th. What am I? Oh, here, the meeting date for the I'm meant to say December 9th. The filing deadline is 2 days before Thanksgiving.
Oh,
I
that's
think
the
that's okay, even if people travel.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
that's okay.
Because it's the deadline. People can plan
Yeah,
ahead
travel
and
for
file
Thanksgiving.
before that.
Yeah, that's the applicants. They'll have to just work around it.
I take that back. I'm thinking of this year's Thanksgiving. I don't know the date of next year's.
Let's see. That's a good point. Thanksgiving 2026 date is November 26th. But we are
Oh.
open the day before Thanksgiving, so that should still work. Yeah.
If you wanted to, you could always move it to like the Tuesday or something. That way, the Wednesday, it's not so stressful for your office.
Yeah,
Sure.
maybe that's a good idea in case
But-
like Sue has, I mean, I don't
Yes.
normally take the day off, but yeah, that's a good point. So maybe we move
A lot of
the
people travel and
25th
so
to
forth.
24th for the filing deadline.
Yeah.
What day of the week is that?
Tuesday. So just moving it up
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, frankly.
And we'll bold it as like a
Special
an
thing.
abnormal special deadline.
Yeah,
And then So are we, how far along are we going to continue to do virtual? Is that, how long are we virtual?
It's the law surrounding remote meetings was extended. Um, I think it was extended indefinitely this time, but I could be wrong. But I don't think there's any
Oh,
issue with next year with having virtual meetings.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
That makes it very nice. We
I
can
mean,
all use it.
until, oh, sorry, Dodds.
Go ahead. No,
I
that's
was
all
gonna
right.
say, until the town hall
Mm.
has a space that can have the number of people that we generally have at meetings, and we can present things cohesively and potentially, work hybridly. I just, things flow pretty darn smoothly on Zoom. And I
Yeah.
think the town hall potentially needs a little bit more infrastructure before we're ready to really start transitioning. I don't know of what the library
The
has
meetings
available,
used to take place at the library, yeah.
Mm.
but we would still need, I mean, I like the idea of us being as hybrid as possible. And so some sort of, camera
Yeah.
system there would be ideal. Obviously might not be possible, not, saying it's a requirement. I mean, I think it warrants some investigation on what the current status of, you can probably speak to the town hall, Jackie, but what the library's, current technological status is. So one of us can do some investigating there.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the library. I haven't been inside there yet. But the town hall, I mean, we had some technical difficulties trying to have a public meeting for something else there, so I wouldn't necessarily trust it.
Mm.
I mean, personally, I really prefer the Zoom because if we were meeting right now in person, I wouldn't be home until 11:15.
Yeah, no, I know it works nicely. And if it was hybrid, though, you could also theoretically attend from home. Like that's the kind of the
Mhm.
beauty of hybrid.
Yeah,
But it does require some significant infrastructure to make it work smoothly.
right. Hybrid requires a lot of technology. And where I worked before, we had all our meetings in person, but not hybrid. But I know that's difficult for consultants and
Yeah.
People who
Mm.
might not have the ability to leave their home like by themselves at night or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Like I know it can be challenging for elderly or disabled people to go to a meeting at night, even from the public, like if they can't get a ride or something like that. So hybrid is always the most accessible to everyone because you can join whichever way, but then it needs the most technology to make it
Yeah.
happen because you have to have like the cameras on everyone, and I don't think we have that capability to my knowledge. But
Mm.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if our meetings were earlier in the evening to have them in person.
Yeah,
But
I
with it
agree.
being this late, it's kind of
Yeah.
super
Yep.
late to be on the road.
Yeah, I think we continue virtually until the town,
Yeah.
works out some more infrastructure.
I like this. I like this very much.
Okay, so do we, it's getting kind of late, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Did
Let's-
anyone
let's-
look, moving on, did anyone look at the meeting minutes?
Do we need to approve those deadlines, though? Do we?
Yes, with the
Okay.
one
Oh, yeah.
change.
With the change? I'll make a motion that we approve the 2026 filing deadlines and meeting dates, subject to that one change related to the filing date in November of 2026.
I will second that motion.
How do we vote? Dodge Shamrock, aye.
Jen DeCarlo, aye.
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Maureen Brisbane, aye.
Ben Kayla, aye.
Okay. And did anyone get a chance to look at the October 15th meeting minutes?
They look good to me.
Yeah, I'm fine
Okay.
with it.
Okay, so go ahead, Andrew, your turn.
I said I wasn't doing any more.
All right, Ben,
No,
you're up.
I think Maureen or Ben, yeah.
All right. Yeah, Maureen hasn't
I
done.
motion that we approve the meeting minutes for October 15th, 2025.
I'll second that.
And how do we vote? Dodge Shamrock, aye.
Jen DeCarlo, aye.
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Maureen Brisbane, aye.
Ben Kayla, aye.
Thank you all.
I
Is
move,
there,
I move that we close the meeting.
I'll second that
There's
motion.
a motion.
Okay, I,
Agenda Carl, I.
Andrew Mulholland, aye.
Maureen Brisbane, aye.
Ben Taylor, aye.